Hello, my name is Larissa Alisley. This is again another update video to what I have happening, documentation. This past week or so has been kind of off the chain, to be honest. I thought I was recording earlier, so now I'm kind of deflated because I wasn't. So I'm trying this again. So anyway, I guess we'll start off. So, if you've been following me for a while, I had an initial channel. I had a few channels around it, but my initial one, I lost it, and most of it was because of the police exposure that I had of police. A lot of these police I found out are fake, and here in the state of Texas, it's a third-degree felony to impersonate a cop. And so, yeah, if you were following me up until my channel got yanked down last year, last December, uh, I had these two fake women cops that this bogus neighbor, because she's part of my trafficking and she's involved in the system, punitive psychiatry. I figured that out just based on what she was saying. So it's like a two-part thing. Part one video because I was calling her out on her being a Safeway, a halfway house for the system. I have so much incriminating evidence, CIA, and all kinds of things going on over there. So anyway, these two cops were sent up accusing me, cops, fake cops that were sent to my house and trespassed on my property to accuse me of things that weren't true. Uh, via my neighbor, sent it by my black neighbor. Had that, like I said, I'm a victim of racism and everything else. So they were accusing me of stepping on her property, which it wasn't true. It was more like I'm videoing you and I have evidence. And so once I turned on the camera on my phone and I was filming them and I told them to get the fuck off my property. There was this whole skit. You could tell it was extremely rehearsed. Probably in for guard horrors, I don't know. And so then they took off and bolted down the street. This has kind of been the thing with how they operate with me. And so about a week or so back, I always have cops following me, always, 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 and doing all kinds of things to me, including being involved in my sexual assault involving punitive psychiatry. So, again, same type of scenario. This fake woman cop, I think she was like part black, some bitch, mongrel. I don't know. I'm sorry, that's what you are. I mean, you're a piece of shit. You're a nothing to me. You're not. You're subhuman, demon. So they follow me all the time, like I said, and I don't want to be in one place for too long because if you follow me for a while, I have video, and the cops are involved of people coming to my home, threatening to harm me. I believe they're out on early plea bargains. I'm not entirely sure. I have men that come out and they sit in front of my home. They're involved in my MK Ultra projects. They'll use the like a kawaii type stickers and they like, yeah, I could re-upload it. It's to BitChute, but it's whatever. Like I said, BitChute's now kind of more of my evidence channel. There's not a whole lot there. Just I'm deflated. I'm tired, but So anyway, this cop was sent in to follow me last week and accused me of running a stop. So when she pulled me over, she wanted me to roll down my rear window to see if somebody was in there. And I said, "Why? I don't need to show you what's back there." It was just her pushing her weight around because it's all part of the it's all trauma-based mind control. She wasn't a cop. It was all rehearsed, premeditated. They planned on doing this the whole time. So I finally got around to rolling down the window. And I accused her. I said straight up, I said, "You're a fake cop. I bet you're not even fucking real." So right when I said that, that's when she paged the real quote unquote quote cop, because this is Houston Police Department. They are involved in sex trafficking. I mean, I'm one of them. Child sex trafficking. So he comes rolling in to push his weight around. I straight up told her from the beginning, and I told them both at that point. I was like, "You're gonna fucking let me go." So when he rolled up, I looked at him. I said, "She's not a fucking real cop." Yep. So I said, "You're going to let me go." And I said, "Trump knows who the fuck I am." I said, "I'm fucking in the Federal Reserve. I'm getting the fuck out of here," essentially. And I informed him that, I said, "This is a huge crime syndicate, and I will be coming back with you for you with the federal government. Hopefully with this whole cleanup or whatever's supposed to be taking place." I said, "I'm coming back for you." And so anyway, this fake female cop, she was like wanting my vehicle proof of insurance. And so miraculously, because they are in all of my devices, they stopped my camera and everything else. And so in my phone, I just miraculously couldn't get into my Geico account. But I was prepared because I'm not stupid because I already knew they'd pull shit like this with me. So I couldn't get in there, and I'm like, of course, of course. So thankfully, I have the paper proof in my console. So I pulled it out. And I said, "Here you go." So she looks, and I'm like, "Yep, you're gonna let me the fuck go." I'm like, guy cop. I said, "Yeah, you're gonna." And so then, they're letting me go. And I looked, and said, "You're fuck, I'm coming back for you, motherfuckers. You stalk, fucking harass me. This is a huge crime syndicate rooted in child sex trafficking." And so that is when I'm going to take you. You just fucking go for it, motherfucker. You just fucking go for it. They're going to wonder where their quantum reserve node fucking went. Right? So yeah, they let me roll on out because it's all part of trauma-based mind control. That's all it is. Just create frustration to just tally it up in the stress, because I am the reserve node and they are a threat. So I roll off and whatever. Just around that time. So, from my understanding, if you've been following me for a while, yes, I am the quantum reserve node, the Allison CERN, yeah, spooky action images. So, from my understanding, myself and this other person are leveled the fuck up. Basically, we are in sync completely with each other. All right, meaning we're like in step. He does one thing, I do another. So he strums, I spin. Meaning, so he's over there, he's doing a concert. I found this out after the fact. Because all of a sudden I was like, because the last step, so there's steps, these last steps I have to take. So I communicate with the quote unquote good guys and the bad guys, both. This is how I communicate with them, is what I wear and how I act outwardly in terms of how aligned I am with this other person in their system. So the second to last step, I guess, was that I go back to the beach, and I had kept circling it for a while. So I would, after, to assure the alignment had taken place or something, what I would do, because basically we split or something, because I don't know. I would go back to the beach because I would still want to hear his voice from what I got out of this, and this is how I would do that, how I would align with him. So I just felt like I had to go back to the ocean, back to the shore. And so that's what I would do. So first I go to the aquarium because that's like my thing. That's like my favorite thing to do because I love aquariums, especially saltwater. It's my favorite thing to do. What I do on my birthday, I go to SeaWorld, shit like that. So anyway, so I would go down to Galveston to Gardens because they had shown me that before with airplanes. So I would go there and look at that. So that's kind of a ritual for me. So what I would do is I go there and then I go sit. It's called the poop deck. So go sit at the poop deck, smoke, dream of brains out, and that's what the last pervert, he fucking licked me. I right handed that. Yep, that's what these perverts do. So anyway, I went down there. So last step in this process, like I said, long story longer, I was summoned, paged, and it was how I'm wired in with this other person. So essentially the last step in this process, and it lets them know here on NASA's side, I guess, I don't know, that uh we're completely in sync. I don't know. So Robert played that night, come to find out after the fact, 'cause I wanted to see if that's what this was. So I was, I felt like I wanted to go out and go dancing. God knows why, right? Because I already knew this was just going to be a bad fucking idea, and it was. So I already knew at that point. I'm like, okay, this must be the last step in the process because it's kind of in the video. So when you see all these women and bitches and they're on a stage and music videos since the beginning of fucking time, movies and all that. You see them in red and stuff like that. That's the last step in terms of whatever this alignment thing is, in their timeline. So we're on another timeline back in the past somewhere, right? So I would wear my red dress, red for me, red velvet at that, red velvet, velveteen, and so yeah, I have quite a few of those. That's like I collect red everything. Red's my favorite color. predominantly secondaries green, Merry fucking Christmas. So, I wore my red velvet dress. And of course, I'm all 60s, right? And so when you watch Mars Attack, she's got this like red and white. It's got the spirals because bottom out quantum is the last step. She goes to the aquarium. It's all that shit. So I did exactly that. It's life imitates art. It's all timed out in a clock. That's exactly what I did. So I went there and right around my first drink, this bitch comes up to me. And so if you've been following, if you're on Twitter like I am, Elon, he's got these characters called Annie, and the other one's Valentine. Well, that's myself and Robert, the Alice and Bob Quantum Switch. And if you watch the initial one that he posted, I think it's the initial one or close to it, she's whispering. Those are the love letters, the whispering. It's because it's sex sounds and shit over the airwaves, subversive. And see, Robert hits those notes. And so that's it. It's love letters covertly. That's why she's whispering and she's talking about quantum entanglement. So we're completely entangled, I guess, at this point. And roses are a thing. So if you look at Valentine, he's got a rose. I'm sorry, but this shit is fucking sick. The fact that I haven't been addressed about this and this dude's carrying on about it's because the Alice, it's an acronym, the allegory, and I'm tied into neurolinguistical programming, sound and stuff like that, and source codes. You watch Trinity, that's what this is about, hacking. She's a firewall, source codes. And so basically, Robert holds the key. Okay? That's why when he sings, he said, I've written a book because he's been doing this for years, singing and all this shit. So, anyway, I guess we're leveled up. Here we are. So I wore the red dress, and so this girl, she's dressed up like Annie. It's got this black dress, tutu type of fucking thing, and she comes up to me and grabs me away to go and show me off to her friends, because their friends are of the occult, the Illuminati, and they're behind this. So, she takes me up to, so they're all staged out, dressed up, they're all CIA. So, this one guy's wearing dots. Robert and I wear dots. He did, I still do. Um, Then you have this other character in a black velvet blazer. That's because that's what I wear, and I guess Robert does or did. Like I said, I kind of do things after the fact because Robert's older than I am. That's the formula. So, anyway, and this guy's got like white curly hair. I have white naturally curly hair. They've got to do this, make the mirror of it. And so they're all gay, and then her name, she called herself, her name is the Annie character, she called herself Calla, and she made it a point to say Calla Lily, meaning death, because basically I am shadow banned dead now in quantum system. That's how they do this, Calla Lily death, right? And at that point, I was like, yeah, these dudes are fake, but whatever, we're just gonna play along a little. And that's what I did. I played along a couple of nights there. I played along just to see. I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna play along, just see how far this fucking shit goes, right? Because they always inform you of um, covert information. You have to, like I've learned, because that's what this is in MK Ultra. It's about subversion. So it's all covert messaging in terms of the way that you will understand it. Um, so anyway, yeah, I had both these, and there's this other weird mongrel looking creepy black guy, and he's like, "Hey, do you wear vinyl? Like vinyl, all this kind of shit." Uh, and then he made it a point to say he's in the occult. Sick shit, It's just their way of triggering me. It's all a humiliation ritual at the end of the day. And so, that was that night. And so it was just kind of funny. So what I did is I smoked and I went and drank and then I went off on my own and smoked my brains out because that's what I do outside. And, this other guy, Mexican guy, because they had it all staged out. They had all Mexicans inside because I'm the token white girl. Because it ties in with eugenics, myself and Robert, and I guess they have my ovary, and I don't know. We have embryos. I don't fucking know. It's what I'm led to assume. I've kind of had it confirmed to me in so many ways, words. So, well, I mean, you got the video right there, down out to drown. I mean, yeah, and I already I already knew my ovary. They could find it. Anyway, yeah, I don't know where I'm getting with that, but yeah, it's whatever. So, long story longer, that night was over. Oh, so the Cure played. They made sure to play that. I don't remember what song, but I took it as my cues to see my way out. I was like, yep, I'm out. Excused myself, and I took off. Went home. Thought that was the end of it, because, I don't go out, because it's always this way, and I really can't afford it. I really can't. So, but then all of a sudden, I wanted to go out that Friday, the following Friday, because this was on a Tuesday. So I go uh, out on the Friday. Same type of situation. I was like, man, I just want to go out again. Because I wore my red velvet dress, went out dancing already. So it was the last step in terms of alignment, I guess. So I go out this time because almost always wear red when I go out these days. Because it's just part of who I am, part of my MK Ultra, my Monarch programming. So, I went out. I was being summoned. I know that I was being pinged in the head to do this because I even thought it to myself. I'm like, why? Why am I going out? What would be the point of this? So I went there, got my drink because this is what I do, and I went to the patio and I smoked my fucking brains out. So all of a sudden, this guy comes up to me, foreigner, blabbing away real quick, and then he says, "I'm from Iran," and I'm like, "Of course you are, motherfucker." Because, I'm the reserve node, so they got to make it a point telling me he's from Iran, some kind of message about that. So then he wanted to bum a smoke off me. Granted, I'm smoking Virginia Slims, all right? So I was like, and I said it straight up to him, like, you want to smoke Virginia Slims? You want to look like a bitch? Well, all right. So I gave him a Virginia Slim. So he just kind of sits there, and I'm like, you want me to light that up for you too, motherfucker? So he need a light, so I lit him up. All of a sudden, this Annie bitch, she comes up, right? She's again similar black dress, slightly different. She comes up again. She's blabbing about how she's got it in, like this bartender she's been drinking. Bartender's got it in for her, and because she didn't pay her tab. Well, granted, because they read my thoughts. So I was like, well, I was just thinking, I hope. I hope my card goes through because to pay the bartender, okay? Because I have my tab open. Yeah, I'm not kidding. This is what's happening to me. Yeah. So, yeah, that went down. I'm like, oh, really? And I'm just kind of, like I said, this same kind of thing. I'm just kind of playing along, playing it out, playing it out. And at this point, I have her number. So then after that, I was led over to this area with this guy. It's the same guy with the white curly hair. It's kind of short. And his name is Brian, all right? So he's at the table selling his wares with this other bitch. I don't know. I didn't really pay much attention. So I'm kind of chatting him up, right? Because I got a feeling about this. So I'm like, yeah, let's see how this goes. So he deliberately gets kind of apprehensive about me. So I was like, yeah, something's up and you know it. So after that, I took off because I was deliberately led there, He's playing this kind of weird type of that because this is how my husband was instructed to be with me. It's all deliberate, all deliberate. Um, so during that time, this Calla Lily bitch, she, the Annie character, she came up for a brief moment and was talking to me, and she was telling me, and I'd forgotten until she had texted me later. She had made it a point to inform me that she was roommates with Steve Lawler. I didn't know who the hell that was. And it was loud in there, because it's like this bullshit music they're playing. Of course, bullshit music. It's not on my frequency. Love, no, like whatever. It's all bullshit, loud and obnoxious. It's the kind of shit that this Lawler character would play. So, kind of housey sounding weird shit. So, anyway, she was talking about how she was shacking up with this guy and she made it a point to say she was bi. And so, and it was funny because when I was chatting up this Brian character that was there, I'd asked him, I said, are you gay? And I'm straight the fuck up. He said, no, no. And I'm like, yeah, you are. This is how this works. So anyway, I go home. Same kind of scenario because I was like, yeah, you guys are just, I don't know, you people are weird. I go pay my tab, close my tab, and I go the fuck home. And so the next day, the Cala chick, she texts me or texts back, something like that. She made it a point to go on and talk about how she wants to go to Big Bend over here in Texas because that's kind of what I would kind of wanted to do. Like I said, they read my thoughts and stuff, right? And then she talked about her this Lawler character again, and it made me. I was like, why the fuck does at that point I already knew. I was like, this is so stupid. So at that point I looked him up, and they wanted me to look him up, right? So he's with Live Nation, okay? It's kind of like the more modern version of Ticketmaster, and this is what a lot of the musicians use. And I think with Robert that Cure they use that, right? So I looked this motherfucker up. So of course he's English, right? And I saw that he is a music producer slash DJ. Of course, you're a DJ. I have a lot of those. They're all into my programming, because they make their own music. A lot of them do, and it's all about mind control projects, MK Ultra projects, and genetics. Hearts and minds, motherfuckers. So, anyway, then I went live, I started looking at further. So the link, they wanted me to see this. The link to his site is pizza. Who am I? That's right. I'm cherry pie. That's the other thing too. So cherry and pie separately. These are all terms for uh pedophilia with little girls. And since, I'm the pizza, I was sold into this in childhood. And so I'm like their ultimate fucking pizza, evidently, because, it's like this I'm sold into sex slavery, but I'm not allowed to have sex. And so they've like made me, and it's called the Immaculate Constellation, and Elon's with that. They create this Virgin Mary character as me. And so cherry, what does that mean, right? And so like you want their song by Warrant, Cherry Pie. It's literally about me. And you see Bobby Brown, the model that's in it, she's wearing red. That's the last step. So you see all these women and stuff in movies and stuff, and they're wearing the red. That's the whole last step. They wanted me to roll back and see this. It's part of my programming. The Alice, she rolls back and she understands symbolism and can interconnect all of it. Uh-huh. It's that cherry pie. These pieces of shit are singing about a fucking little girl. A little fucking girl sex slave. Cherry pie. And so, a guy that I know, or I follow on Twitter, and he's pretty nice. I think he's affiliated with the military. He recently, because he posting things PizzaGate related about these fucking pedophiles and all their code words. And this one particular interview with this one character, Jew, I'm sure of it, Mason. Um, he was talking about pie was another code word for pedophilia of little girls. And so, yeah, cherry pie, like I said. Can't make this shit up. It's just sick. It's like, like whatever. So anyway, yeah, so that was that. And I had blasted this character, this Lawler character said, here's all these trolls, and I had posted the text message. I said, this is what the fuck I have going on. Does anybody fucking care? Um, so I posted it. I even forwarded it to Robert. I don't know if he saw it. I don't know. I made the connection though. It didn't take me too long. I was like, this is what the fuck this is. So, 2 years ago, right when because it was all designed, it was all part of this. When I finally, it came to me and I had heard it overtly, um, that's when I knew that song was for me. And that's when, I knew. So that's when he started touring with the Cure out here in Houston of all places. Houston's not a music hub. There's not a whole lot going out here, strangely enough. Um, so Houston, he started out here, out in Houston, around my birthday. It's all deliberate, and I know that they were hiking. Live Nation was hiking up the ticket costs, and so he blasted them. So I figure it's a connection to that. I know it is. It's that. I don't know, or a revenge, or it's just them continuously harassing. So like they're trying to set me up with this fucking Brian character So once I blasted them, that's when this and I blocked the Cala bitch after that because I told her, I said, "You're fucking with Lawler and Pizza. Yeah, I'm your big fucking MK Ultra project." So after that, Brian, he didn't have my phone number. They gave it to him. He comes out of nowhere and acts like he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's like trying to chat me up now. All of a sudden, he's interested. So I straight up told him, I said, "No, you're literally, in every sense of the word, in bed with Lawler. All of you are, and you're in my MK Ultra projects because that's how this rolls. Because that's how it is. Like it's all about gay men." So I informed him. I said, "Yeah, you motherfuckers are just jealous of Robert. And here you are." So just prior to that, because we're the X link, that's what this is all about. So right before the bells, and I go back to the beach, I circle back to the beach. I have you can scroll back on my Twitter, the plane that made the X. And I always put the registry, I always look it up, and it was registered to somebody named Brian. It was spelled the same way. It was Bryan. So this guy, it's the same way, it's spelled the same way. And now I know it was that. And it was weird too, because just prior my V2K would because when I put my head in the pillow, I don't get it this much these days, but when I put my head in the pillow, it's like weird. And so it started in vaguely talking about this. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking? What is this? Now I know it's that. It's them. They have my genetics. So yeah, and I speak to someone that knows about me, and I messaged him and I said, "Hey, if something happens to me, know that Live Nation is involved in this. They are part of what's happening to me. The fucking Illuminati whores. They're trying, I guess, I don't know, to take from the Switch or something, trying to hook me up with. Like, I am not, I told this motherfucker, I said, I am not a fucking idiot. I know what the fuck you're doing. I'm like, fuck you. I wasn't even all that attracted to him. So, I just kind of went along with the game because I knew, because, I've been in this game for a while and I've overtly known about it for a while. So now I know how to play it. So now I have the evidence, it's there. Uh, that said, so a little over a week, 2 weeks ago, Liz Crokin recognized me, and this was when I was leaving a reply to just someone else is just on a basic level gang stalk. I'm not degrading him or saying he's not in trouble, but I told him because he didn't believe what was happening with Epstein and all that, and I said, I follow Liz Crokin. My story I believe ties in with the whole thing, and I said that I follow her, and I believe her lead on this, not everyone else's. And so I'm a needle in the haystack. Okay, Liz Crokin is PizzaGate. She exposes all that light to dark, whatever with Mike, uh, her husband. So she had made it a point to like my comment. I guess that's her way of saying, yeah, this is happening. And then she followed me. That for me, that's a huge thing because everyone's a fucking coward. Uh, from there, I did have people confirm, various people confirm saying, yeah, this is happening to me. Somebody that's in the countering part of my MK Ultra programming, the love cult as she, because that's my programming. And she had, I said, so I'm together. I'm like the epicenter of the Epstein thing. And she said, you were 100% yeah. Well, yeah, I'm the Federal Reserve. And see what it is that I'm the hugest MK Ultra project and it involves genetics. So yesterday, one of the main witnesses to Epstein, it was the same type of scenario as Liz Crokin. She had liked what I had said in terms of these cyber stalkers that are making videos and leaving comments on my videos and things on my YouTube channel. She liked what I said and then posted a Project Monarch video she had made because she's under the same program and it involves genetics. And see, this is what this is. It's because they need me because that's what Epstein was doing. They have all of our genetics. They've made us into, I'm the doll, and from the looks of it, she's a doll because that's what this is. We're meticulous about our appearance. They've made it a point. That's what they refer to me as is the doll. So yeah, that's Monarch programming. Is they take us girls and they make us into dolls, fucking sex toys. Um, So those are big strides in terms of what this is, because no one will recognize me or admit this is happening to me in a personal level. So it's just like I said, it's just a documentation. Yeah, this is what's happening to me, and finally, I don't know. It's still plausible deniability until something's said, and this woman, I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she'd appreciate it, even though it's so public. She has a video she made with a what's her last name Guff, the one that was murdered 3 months ago because of this. The one of the other main whistleblowers. This woman's just as big, and for her to actually acknowledge me and then to leave me the video about that. So I guess there's a monarch type. I think it's a trust, a separate thing for this type programming. And I may have seen her video. I don't remember. It's been a while. Um, but that was interesting. You know, like I said, I don't relate to anybody. I don't have any friends. I mean, it's very, very hard. I'm so isolated by this, and that's the worst part of this. And the only people that I could relate to is somebody that's going through this like this. I don't know it on their level, not at all. It's not like that. It's very similar. It's more of the fact that it's like it's very obvious everybody knows about me, but they never thought I was worth anything to approach. And it's because they needed me, both sides needed me to hold down because my emotions and how I'm tied in with this other person, I guess. They needed me to hold down this system for that purpose. And the whole time I'm being tortured deliberately to make people feel that way, to annihilate the goyim. It's really hard. And it's like I said, I don't want to be here. I don't want this responsibility. I have pieces of fucking shit coming after me that I guess are on some kind of fucking vendetta against this person I'm linked to, and this person can't so much as fucking wink my way. Even though it's that. I've had everyone knows it's that. Everyone's pretty much, they've confirmed to me, like, yeah, it's that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why am I left here like this? It's like, oh, we're aligned. What does that mean? You got your timeline switch. So what does that mean for me? It's like, no, I'm that extra step that is impossible, or and it's the fact that that would even need to be. I'm like so entangled with this other person. It's like they already know. It's like not that I would disagree. It's just the fact that I'm in this and I've been made to feel humiliated, and a lot of it is because no one will vindicate it. This whole Annie and Valentine character, that is sexploitation. That's myself and this other person being sexually exploited. Even though this person, with what this is and this hearts and mind, I can't imagine this person would want that either. All for money, right, Elon?